Hi, and welcome to the Balance Rants. My name's Tom Marquis, El Presidente. So glad that you could join us on the very first video blog of the Balance, called the Balance Rants. And you're watching us, well, where you're watching us, because quite frankly, we're distributed all over the world, and you might be watching this in various different formats. But we're glad that you're here. You know, I thought that I'd try out this video blogging for our show and take it to the very next level. Probably a lot of you are familiar with the Balance radio show, i.e. Indie Radio Guy here on YouTube and thebalanceonline.com, of course, Twitter, T-Balance, Facebook, The Balance, and in our flagship area is Blog Talk Radio. And we're all over the United States, all over the world for that matter, and we talk sports. We love to talk sports. We probably talk sports longer than anybody else really has the stomach to listen to us. But we're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're here. And taking time out of your day to watch the very first pilot issue, if you will, of the Balance Rants. Well, we're located in Indianapolis, Indiana, for those of you that did not know. And we're right here in the heart of everything that's going on with the NFL. Jim Irsay, in his wonderful tweets, Peyton Manning, trying to keep everything close to the vest, and just a lot going on. And we've had a rough season. We've had a rough way to go about it. And quite frankly, I want to see it go away. We had the Super Bowl that was fantastic. And you know what? My hat's off to the city of Indianapolis. They did just a wonderful, wonderful job of putting on a Super Bowl, and hopefully the NFL took notice. I think that they did, and I think that we'll be able to get them back again, get the Super Bowl back here in a few years, and maybe it'll become a regular thing. But it was all clouded, and it was all in the background of the house that Peyton built, as everybody has coined that phrase now, the house that Peyton built. Yes, he did. And I am going to tell you that I have told my colleagues, I have told friends, I've told my viewers and my listeners here that Peyton Manning stays with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm the only guy saying it. I know that. I realize that. I'm a big man and I can handle the pressure. So bring it. Peyton Manning stays with the Indianapolis Colts. It doesn't make sense for him to go anywhere else. You may think it does money-wise, but I still like to believe in the good old boy image that Peyton Manning has brought us for so many years. I love Peyton Manning. Yeah, I do. I think that he's a great quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. I think he's a great man of character. I think that he, until himself or someone of authority in the Indianapolis Colts organization, I'm not referring to Rob Lowe, by the way, tells me or tells us that, yeah, we're going to part ways with Peyton Manning, I am going to still say that Peyton Manning stays with the Indianapolis Colts. And quite frankly, I am tired of everybody jumping on that bandwagon. Well, Peyton Manning's going to be going. Look, they're bringing Andrew Luck. Really? Are they going to bring Andrew Luck? That's something we've talked about in great detail here on my show. Of course, everybody out there, again, I'm an island by myself. Now, I realize there are a few pockets of you guys out there that are supporters. Yeah! I'm for it. Thank you. Thank you. Or I support you, or I don't know. And, I'm loving this whole video thing because you guys are seeing everything, either the good or the bad and the ugly. More the ugly than anything. As everybody knows, I definitely have a face for radio. But, we're taking this show to the whole new level, and we're so glad that you have joined us here on the very first Balance Rants, which is a video blog. And, well, you know what? I get to rant because it's my show. So we look at the possibilities, and we look at the different types of combinations that can happen, and we look at who possibly and what is going on with the Indianapolis Colts. Is Andrew Luck the future of the Indianapolis Colts? The crowd says yes. The crowd wars. But is he really? Because I venture to guess this, guys, and I guarantee you that there's only a few of you out there that stand behind me on this. RG3 is who the Indianapolis Colts will draft. The draft is just a few months away, or just a little bit of, April, really a month and a half away. And many of you and on many of the media have already decided that the Colts will pick up the number 1 pick will be Andrew Luck. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. He certainly does deserve a number 1 draft pick. I mean, you'd have to live under a rock to not know what a great quarterback that Andrew Luck is. I'm just saying that he's not the quarterback for the future of the Indianapolis Colts franchise. I'm saying that Peyton Manning stays with the Colts or he retires or he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. But if he does happen to go, and I'm not making this up, you can go back to the www.thebalanceonline.com, look in the archives, look on my blogs back in the summertime. I said that there is that possibility that Peyton Manning would end up at the Washington Redskins. So if that happens, I still get to say I told you so. But I really think that Peyton Manning stays right here in Indianapolis or he retires. And obviously there's a lot of options open to him, and Peyton Manning could pretty much choose what he wants to do. But here's who I think. Here's exactly what I think. RG3 is who Jim Irsay and the Colts pick as their first round pick. Can it happen? Absolutely it can happen. And don't call me crazy because, well, I've been called worse. I'll take that title because you know what? Here's the thing. When it's all said and done, I'm going to be right here on the Balance Rants and on the Balance. And I'm going to say in a very loud voice, I told you so. Do not jump on my bandwagon. I will sad sack you. And if you don't know what sad sack is, listen to the show and we'll be glad to acclimate you on what sad sacking is. But Griffin, guys, keep in mind, RG3 won the Heisman Trophy over, wait for it, Luck. He is the most athletic quarterback in the draft. He is the type of player a team would regret passing up. And maybe the Colts do that. Maybe they do pass up Griffin and go with Andrew Luck. Maybe they do. There are a lot of upsides and a lot of downsides. Guys, Griffin is he isn't the most accurate passers out there, as $2 Bill Josh, who's on our show, talks about. But his career will only get better. Griffin has a lot to learn as a quarterback, considering Baylor's competition. Think about it. Baylor, first of all, nobody's even won a Heisman Trophy from Baylor. Okay? So I get that. He's a baller and a playmaker. Can we say that? Can we accurately say that Griffin is a baller and a playmaker? Griffin has a lot to learn as a quarterback. And who better to mentor a quarterback that needs mentoring? None other than number 18, Peyton Manning. Okay? So it makes sense. Peyton Manning isn't going anywhere. Now we have this 4th surgery. Well, how much does that come into play? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that Peyton Manning stays with the Colts. This season, he had, I'm talking about Griffin now, he had 4,429 yards passing through 37 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. He also ran for 640 yards with 10 touchdowns. He finished his career with 10,366 passing yards, 78 touchdowns, and 17 picks. So take that back. Let me tell you, I think he had over 4 million passing yards. I don't know. What is 4,4293? Who writes my script? Really? I do. Like looking like I'm yelling at somebody. You guys are going to love being a part of this video blog, aren't you? Well, they call it a rant because they don't have to necessarily stay on point. I do digress. I digress with the show as well. By the way, guys, make sure you give us a listen. We'd love to have you. But if the Colts do the unthinkable, well, at least in your eyes, come on now, you're watching this video blog and you're saying, really? Peyton Manning isn't going to stay with the Colts, man. You have lost it. You have lost your marbles. If the Colts do the unthinkable and draft Griffin, they may need to change their whole offensive scheme. Can Griffin throw the ball? Sure. But here's the thing, guys. His biggest attribute, his legs. Who else do we know like that? Michael Vick. Well, the pre-dog years, Michael Vick. Absolutely. Who else? Who else? What? You need more examples than Michael Vick? How about Cam Newton? I'm just saying. What about Randall Cunningham? What about Steve Young? I mean, and most recently, Tim Tebow. I gotta do that, man. How many of you guys, come on now, how many of you guys stand in the mirror and Tebow? I want to know right now. You guys are going to be sorry you watched this video blog. But I tell you what, quarterbacks have been successful in the NFL with his style. And I think that with his style is what the Indianapolis Colts need in their rebuilding years. Am I saying that Peyton Manning's the future for a long time to come? No. 3 years, probably 3 years. RG3 is a special kind of quarterback, a special kind of player that needs to be mentored by a special mentor. And that is none other than number 18, Peyton Manning. Take it or leave it, guys. I'm going to be the guy sitting right here saying I told you so. And I tell you what, if it doesn't happen, the only way it won't happen is if he retires. Or, in my personal opinion, now he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's where the only other team that makes sense for him is that Peyton Manning ends up at the Kansas City Chiefs. I tell you what, one other thing here before I let you go. How about that Jeremy Lin? Linsanity! Guys, one of the things about the balance is we focus on the season that we're in. And myself and the whole balance team, we get together and we talk hoops, or we talk NFL, we talk racing. We've got it. And if you tune in and we don't happen to be talking about the sport that's your favorite sport or that you like to talk about or hear about, stick around. We've got something just right around the corner for you. That's why we're called The Balance. We give a balance of everything for all the fans with the fan in mind. And, you know, every one of our segments, we try to balance it out with the fan's perspective. For example, on our football, we have Brian Jensen, super Colts fan Brian Jensen, on with us and talks football with us. We have Chad, a.k.a. Axel, on the air with us. Also during college football, we have Evan Williams of Bleeding Gold and Black, a blogger up at Purdue. But he's just a student, and he's a fan, and he just loves talking about basketball. So that's what we bring to you guys. We hope that you stick around. Plus, we're teaming up with IndyProSports.com. This is really going to be an exciting time in the balance. You picked the best time to come along. Now, maybe you're like, hey, man, I'm gonna listen to your show. This whole video blog, brother, you're not cut out for it. Hey, man, I got it. I'm with you. You know, but in all seriousness, I'm glad that you've joined us. My name's Tom Marquis, El Presidente, and I look forward to you guys being a part of the future of the Balance Rants, and IndyProSports.com. Stick it here, guys. I'm not going to do any editing. I told myself, no matter how this comes out, I'm going to do a one-taker. Now, that may not always be the case, but this is the pilot. This is a one-taker. Stick here with the balance is really what I meant to say, not stick it here. Take it for what it's worth, guys. We have a lot of fun, and that's really what part of our charm, if you will. It's like the value meal at McDonald's. You order the Big Mac supersize. Well, maybe you don't want all those fries, but it just happens to come with it. So my humor comes with it. Take it or leave it. I'm so glad that you're a fan of The Balance. If you're not on Facebook, go to the Facebook, search The Balance, hit like. Twitter, follow us on Twitter, T-Balance. Guys, I will see you next week right here on the Balance Rants. My name's Tom Marquis, El Presidente. See ya.